Welcome to my channel. My name's Kirsten, this is where I art and craft, and this is where I will be creeping on in June. We're nearly there, but I just thought I'd pop in and give you a wee idea about what I'm going to be up to for Creep on June, and also let you know about the links down below. Down below you'll find links to the kit, which is, as always with Tracy, massive. There are ledger pages like these, and like these. There are background pages like these. There are lots of ephemera. Here we have it here. There's things like clocks and bowls and crows and bats and envelopes. There's not an awful lot of envelopes actually, but there's more envelopes elsewhere. There's bits of paper, there's fabulous pictures. Oh, there's these bits of framed art. There's skeletons in jars. Lots of goodies to play with there. And then there is the day sheets. Every day there is a bit of ephemera for that particular day, and with each day there's also words that go with it. This is part of my ephemera. I'm on day 11, so this is part of the ephemera for day 11. This is the words that go with it. There's also a tag in a pocket which didn't print out straight first. Right. Hi. I'm having printer problems. This is an envelope. This is, and I've just printed this on coffee dye. This is day 3, but I wanted it to print it out because it's all part of what I'm doing, because I'm not doing a ledger. I'm not doing a ledger. It's all about the Nevermore ledger, and I'm not making a Nevermore ledger as in a journal. I'm going to make more of a kind of folio thing. And so what I've done is this is the first page of the ledger, and I have printed it out, and this one I have put backed one of the backing pages on. That will be the cover. I've cut it out rather than leaving it as a full page. I've then printed out, just with another page on the back, I printed it out and I've cut it out smaller. I've cut out just the pages. I don't have the book cover on it. And this will be attached on here, and I'll have 2 pockets, 1, 2, and 2 pockets there. Then I've printed it out again, and this time I've cut it even. You see how that's even smaller there? And this time I will have 2 pockets that way. And then, yes, you've guessed it, I've cut it out again. This was the one I was working on, and that goes in. It's a case of measuring up. You can see how that needs to be over that, and it's easy to measure it up at the bottom where the folds come into the centre. This tab, I've then cut this out as part of this page, and there'll be pockets coming in the way. Then again, and this time I've cut it quite close. We've even got this bit of paper that's going to be sticking out, and we'll have more pockets here. Now the idea is that, and this isn't that, it's just sitting there, so that I will end up with the things I make during Creep on June will stick out these pockets there, and nothing's going to be in. Everything's going to stick out some way or another, and it's a kind of reflection of this page of gathering all the butts and stuffing it. There might be tabs that are what sticks out. It might be an envelope sticks all the way out. you know, like that, past the cover, and I'm going to be okay with that, because what I'm making is a folio where all the bits and pieces are collected. So I'm currently, stop saying so, Kirsten, I'm currently in the process of just distressing the pages, and I've strengthened this tab because I've left it as a tab, but I'm now just going to heat emboss it with some antique linen. Well, I could use shadow, actually. That's the one to use, isn't it? Moss shadow. There we go. Why didn't you think of that to start with, Kirsten? And I was thinking that originally I was going to put brads through here, through these eyelets, you know, where these brads are already pictured. But actually I decided that I didn't want to risk mucking up the embossing glaze, and clearly I couldn't put the brads in after the embossing glaze, and I wanted it glazed more than I wanted the brads, so I'm going to do the brads by putting in, they're going to become black brads, and I'll use my, oh, way too much, I'll use my enamel. You know, if you've never used the enamel accents, there's not very many colours. I wish they'd done more. They don't seem to do them, they only seem to do them in black and white now. There used to be a red and a blue as well, and I never managed to get my hands on the red and the blue, and now you just don't even see them at all. They used to always be out of stock, but I've not even seen these for a while. Lovely thing about enamel accents, it's a bit like kind of Nouveau drops or something like that, only you end up with a kind of an enamel look. Maybe that's why they stopped doing them. If you are a member of, oh, I told you there was the pages, I told you there was the ephemera, the daily pages. There's also games in the ephemera pack, and one of the games in the ephemera pack is a word search, and if you take the words off the word search and blow them up, then you've actually got words to use in your journal. A wee tippy there. Now if you get Tracy's newsletter, you will have seen these. This is a lovely freebie that she sent out in her main newsletter, her June newsletter. I've actually made them half size, so they were already being referred to as mini freebies, and I've minied them some more. I printed them on this craft card, and I just thought I would do a quick make with, so let's just concentrate on this one. Let's put a notch in this side. Guess what's in the car? My 1/2 inch punch that I usually make with notches with. Let's see, 3/4 inch will just be a bit wider. I'm going to do it on this side because this side has the space to do it. I love this little freebie actually. This could be used in other kind of journals because it's not screaming creep on really, but it's really quite sweet. It's a sweet little card. I love it done in this cardstock as well. Let's ink up this one. There is a saying in this country, bats in the belfry, and it's because bats nest in belfries, of course, but it also refers to somebody who's a bit well, seen as a bit strange by those who don't quite understand them. This wee bat, that's not that wee, I suppose. This bat stamp, it's a foam stamp that I made myself, and it just, oh yes, love that, love that. Just kind of really adds to the bats in the belfry kind of thing. I might just put another one on the edge actually. I might just put a wing down here. And up here we'll have a kind of wing and a body. Yeah, like that. I'm going to make another stamp for this. I do have kind of cutie ghost stamps that I made, but I'm not going to use them for this. But what that side of that, I'm just wondering. I don't know. I'm reluctant to do anything to that, and I don't know why, but I just don't really want to do anything to that. I thought on the inside of this, in the ephemera pack, where the games are, one of the games is Spot the Difference, and this is words that are there for that game, but I just kind of like them as themselves. They're too big really to go on there, so we're going to have to do it, cut them into strips, and then we'll do something with them. And this is like an introduction to it all. Let's cut that off there. I don't really want to put them across the fold, you see. So we'll have the great. Oh, see, I can't even get the whole of the Great Edgar Allan Poe study. Oh, I was hoping I was going to get his whole name in there, and I can't get his whole name in there. Well, I could just do Poe's study, couldn't I? The Great. Poe's study. Is a tangle of Forgotten Relics is too long. Oh dear. Forgotten Relics. Relics. And then I'm going to put, I forgot because I printed some of the fussy cut bits out small, and we'll see which relic we might put in that image. Oh, see, we've got the bell, but the bell's probably too big. The bell's too big. There's a heart. Looks like that heart's still beating, although it's not attached to a body, doesn't it? Maybe look more like a relic if I can find the one in the jar. There we go. That's maybe too big. Oh, well, no. If I do Tangle of Forgotten Relics, is it going to fit in? I can put that over the top. I quite like the idea. Oh, or I could do the skeleton. Where's the wee skeleton? In the bell jar. I can't find it. Oh, there it's there. It's not any smaller. Should have thought this through better, shouldn't I? Although I could put that underneath. I could stick that underneath. The Great Pose Study is a tangle of forgotten relics. I'll see if I do that, then that actually put them closer to each other. Or do I just put that over this side? That's a thought. Spilled ink and ghostly shadows. There we go. Let's just, yeah, I can, no, I don't want to use that. Oh, let's use this. We want some black. Yeah, here's some black. A good paper for putting this on though. I could put that. Nope, that's more than I needed. Watch this become a disaster. Smooth this over here. I want to add some water to this. See, I told you it would become a disaster because it's way too thin. The paper. Let's just get this. More. There we go. That needs to be washed. This needs to be immediately taken off here. This needs to be folded and put in the bin before it becomes a disaster. Or the recycle bucket, anyway. There we go, that needs to dry. Oh, loving it, loving it. I want to do something else to this envelope, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. This bat was made out of funky foam, and then it's mounted on a bit of Amazon envelope. I should have a bit somewhere. I'll have a bit of card somewhere. And there was something else I wanted to make. I wanted to make another, not another bat, although I might end up making, well, no, I probably won't. I wanted to make a tombstone also. So the thing to remember is that your shape will be, so let's just make a tombstone dead easy, dead easy. Doesn't need to be straight because it could be all kind of worn away. Now the bits that are high are the bits that will print, the bits that are low are the bits that will end up unprinted. So all the detail that I use on all the side at the kind of edge top of the knob, all the details I put in won't show. For example, if I put a line round like this to give me a kind of frame round my tombstone, that won't show as a dark line, that will show omitted. The dark line will be, the printed bit will be the outside and the inside and whatever's inside. So that will be like somebody's graved something out of it. So I'm going to do that because that just gives a wee bit of kind of texture to it, context to it. Now you can do words, but you've got to remember the back to front. So what I tend to do is this. If I want to put a word, should we just say RIP? If I put RIP, to put it on here, it needs to be RIP. It needs to be mirror written like that. And I always find it easier to write it down on here first, and then I know what I'm doing on here. Because otherwise it ends up, you end up getting, well, I end up getting confused. If you wanted the RIP to be proud and be the bit that was being stamped, then you would cut out the RIP and stick it on here. But because that's like the engraving on the tombstone, I'm quite happy for this to be. So we want to do down like that. Then it's not easy doing, turn the foam. That's the best way I've discovered for doing anything that's kind of roundish. It's not easy to do it because it drags. I mean, you're not talking about a Tim Holtz, you know, quality. You talk about something that is quite rough and ready, but that's okay. RIP, and then I want to put in a date underneath here, and I'm going to put in a date of the 25th of the 6th, 1818. So I need to think about that backwards. So the 5 needs to go here. The 5's quite difficult. The 5 needs to go, no, the 5 needs to go down that way, doesn't it? 5. 2's quite difficult as well. So the 2 needs to start that way and go down to dot 6 needs to go that way down, and then the 1818, I just need to remember it needs to go 1 8 1 8. 1818 is actually not so bad. Why that date? Why not? There's no reason it's that date at all. That was just the date that kind of, I wanted to put a date, and that was the date that kind of jumped out and said, use me. And the 25 would have been easier if I'd picked a date that wasn't 25. I could have changed it then, couldn't I? Never mind. Dot 6. And if you ever go to old gravestones, you know, cemeteries, and go and look at old gravestones, you'll see that the engraving on it isn't brilliant. I think sometimes it was just done by whoever was around, so it doesn't matter that this isn't brilliant at all. One of the things that I always find quite amusing is gravestones, the old ones, is sometimes they ran out of space, so like they just put the 8 down here, they just carry it on to the next line. Right, I'd love to be able to do a skull and crossbones, but I just know I can't, so I'm not even going to try. But we could put a cross, and we can maybe just put some decoration of some kind, so just do some and a bit of decoration there. I think that's probably enough. Okay, we need a bit of card to mount it onto, and then I mount it on another bit of card with a bit of a border around it, because then it's easier to pick it back up when you're printing it without getting your fingers terribly inky. Depends how bothered you are about things like inky fingers. Let's put some. And actually, before I go any further, oh well, no, I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to cut some little bits out of there, like one chips. Might even just cut a. There we go. So it's not so, because it's a bit too new looking. So just making it a bit worn looking. Shall we see how that prints? It's the 52nd. I forgot to change the dates round to make it the 25th, but that's okay. Can you see what I mean about the worn bits? Right, I'm going to move that up again, and I want a second generation, but I might only do the top RIP bit on here. I don't want the first one, I want the second generation, just there. Maybe it would have been better having the full one. Let's just put the full one on because it's a bit too ghostly. There we go. See, that makes it look like it's the graveyard, doesn't it? I might redo this. I might not. I might just cover it up when it's down that way, or I might just use this as a top bit and do another one. We'll see. We'll see, but they're easy enough to do, and you buy the sheets of funky foam for pennies. It really is pennies. This should be dry now. It is dry, so let's fold this up, slip it in its envelope, and this will end up somewhere on the front of, to rough up the rest of these pages, but this will end up on as part of the front cover. But I could do the front cover just now, although I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing on the front cover yet. I've got a bloodied bandage. Okay, I think I've got a composition for the front cover. Let's see how we get on here. I'm thinking we'll use, I'm conscious this video is getting very long for a video that was supposed to be very short, but never mind. I will edit. So this is my cover finished. Remembering that it's not a full journal, it's a folio, which is why everything is fairly kind of flat and just on it, because it's not meant to be a big chunky thing. This is one of the images from the kit, but I've kind of enhanced it a bit with these skulls, which actually come from the bottom of this wee card. It's the wee collection of skulls there, and the one that was in the corner there. That mummy comes from this. I just didn't want to put the whole thing on. I felt it was too big, because we've got the bandage here, so I wanted a mummy on the front here. Let's use bandage. We've got the Nevermore ledger, and we've got an embossed crow keeping an eye over the Nevermore ledger, and then this is the little tag and its pocket, and I've attached the tag to here with a split pin so that you can see it. The Great Pose Study is a tangle of forgotten relics, spilled ink and ghostly shadows. But because of the style of it, I can still put the tag in its sleeve and it'll stay on really easy. And there's a little gravestone that we made. So the other pages will go in to build up the pockets and things inside, and I will show you that. I need to keep that. I will show you that you'll see how that's got on. I won't be finishing this today. I need to get some work done. But I will continue to ruffle up some of the edges and stick the pockets in, which so it'll just be a big pile, as I showed you at the start. And this is going in the middle, as is my day one, which I don't know that it's there, as is my day one. That will be going in the middle there as well. So these two will be sewn in the middle somehow. I haven't exactly worked that out yet, but that's okay. And it will all be sewn eventually, but not yet. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was turned into a big video. All this stuff is linked down below. And remember, it starts on the 1st of June. That's when the calendar starts. A direct link to the calendar is down below as well. And you just click on the number, the date, and it will take you straight to the video for that day, part of the collaboration. But there'll be lots of other people, so please remember to use the hashtag so that other people can find your items as well. Thank you so much for watching. You take care. Bye for now. Keep crafting.